Hey there and welcome back to Seahawks Central News. I'm Hannah Creech.
And I'm Isabella Pleasant. This week we will discuss alcohol sales approved for soccer, baseball, and softball fields, as well as the loss of 2 UNCW head coaches.
We will also discuss what students need to do to prepare for the upcoming election, as well as an incident at the New Market Street Panda Express. So sit down and stay tuned,
because Seahawks Central News starts right now.
In October of last year, the UNCW Board of Trustees updated its alcohol policy, allowing beer and wine to be sold in Trask Coliseum. According to Vice Chancellor Lackey, the alcohol sales have been successful thus far, and they have had little to no issues with underage drinking at Trask. One trustee added at the meeting that he did witness an overserved fan at Trask during a game, but the staff and concession team handled the situation very well. As a result, on Friday, January 24th, the UNCW Board of Trustees approved to begin alcohol sales at Brooks Baseball Field, Bozeman Softball Field, and the UNCW Soccer Complex. With each drink costing $8, the profits will be split, with UNCW's food service provider Airmark receiving $4 and the university receiving $4. Savannah Hansen is in studio to let us know what's going on with UNCW athletics this month. Savannah?
Thanks, Hannah. In the span of 8 days, UNCW lost 2 head coaches, both the volleyball and men's basketball. C.B. McGrath, the men's basketball coach, was fired on January 13th in the midst of an 11-game losing streak. McGrath coached at UNCW for 2.5 years and was in a contract until March 2022. While the director of athletics, Jimmy Bass, has not commented on why McGrath was fired, we do know that 9 players have left the team in the span of 3 years, 2 leaving just this season. Then, on January 21st, the women's volleyball coach, Amy Bambanek, resigned after 11 years with UNCW. Bambanek led UNCW to win their first CAA tournament in 2015. Now she heads to Ohio Dominican University to coach volleyball and be closer to her family. Both teams have their assistant coaches standing in until the head positions are filled.
Thanks, Savannah. The new alcohol policy revisions were not the only thing to be approved at the Board of Trustees meeting last Friday. The aesthetics of a new dining facility were also approved. While they have not yet released the visual for the project to the public, they did discuss the expectations of this new dining facility. It will seat 400 people with 8 platforms and will be expected to serve 12,000 meals a week. The dining hall will be located near the recreation tennis courts east of Bluthenthal Wildflower Preserve. This dining hall is expected to be finished in July of 2021 to meet the enrollment growth plans of the university.
2020 is an election year, and while you may be excited to exercise your right to vote, many students do not know when or how. North Carolina is one of the 14 states that will hold the Democratic primary on March 3rd this year. While that election is over a month away, North Carolina citizens can be gearing up by registering to vote. Did you know that in order to vote in the primary and general presidential election come November, that you will need to fill out a voter registration application and mail the form to the Board of Elections office in the county which you reside? This must be submitted via pen and paper, not electronically. For college students living on campus, it's important to make sure that you list your residence as your family's home address, as on-campus residence halls are not considered permanent residences. On-campus students will then need to cast an absentee ballot by mail in the days leading up to the election so that it can return to their home county or home state in time. You can even mail an absentee ballot if you are studying abroad. According to the State Board of Elections website, the most important thing for college-age students voters to do is to register for vote and figure out when and how they will be voting as early as possible to avoid confusion on Election Day. Only 19% of college students voted in the national elections of 2016, but that number is expected to grow substantially to over 40%, according to Forbes. Now Abby Winstead is in the studio with an interesting story about Wilmington's first Panda Express. Abby?
Thanks, Isabella. Citizens were taken by surprise a few weeks ago whenever an SUV crashed into the side of the newly opened Panda Express on Van Campen Boulevard. According to WECT, at approximately 11:30 a.m. on January 16th, the building was struck by a 78-year-old Wilmington driver who told police that he had just come from the foot doctor and his foot went numb as he was trying to park. As a result, he couldn't get his foot off the gas in time and hit the building. When his car struck the building, a drink machine fell into a female customer and she was taken to the hospital and ambulance with non-life-threatening injuries. There were no charges filed against the driver.
On the topic of Panda Express, although there have been many speculations about when the Panda Express on campus is set to open, WWAY has confirmed that the opening date is in February this year. Students have been anxiously awaiting the new Hawks Nest option since before Thanksgiving break, when construction began. So get ready to stack on some orange chicken because we're almost there.
Thanks, Abby. Well, that's all for us this week. Don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe to UNCW TealTV on your favorite social media platform. If you have any story suggestions or just want to talk about our show today, leave us a comment. With Seahawks Central News, I'm Hannah Creech.
And I'm Isabella Pleasance. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.